What's up, everyone? You're listening to WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. We're a student-run radio station based out of North Carolina State University. I'm Lachlan Vester, and this is Off the Record. Here with me today is the Raleigh hardcore outfit, Brick. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm Murphy. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been playing in bands since I was like a freshman in high school. It's like going on 5 years now.
Yeah, my name is Dylan. I'm from around Greenville area, if y'all know where that is. And I've been playing since around middle school, but my first like real band was around sophomore year.
What's up? I'm Jackson. I live in a small town called Roxborough. It's like an hour north of Raleigh. I've been playing music since like freshman year, sophomore year of high school. I've been making my own stuff, like metal and indie stuff, just all around everywhere.
I'm Jacob. I've been making music not that long. I think this is like my first actual band I've been in, but I've been kind of like making garage band beats since sophomore year, if that counts.
I think that counts. I made like 3 albums on GarageBand when I was in like high school. Like very.
Just
It was
like
not-
Steve
It was
Lacy.
not good.
Just like Steve Lacy.
Just like Steve Lacy, yeah.
Almost.
All right, so how long have you guys been making music as a band?
I think we started.
March?
Like, the
Right?
timeline's weird because
Murphy and I met beginning, what's that, about a year ago?
like beginning freshman year we lived in the same dorm, and we like just like became like friend group, and we were the only
Yeah.
two who were like kind of into like punk music and like metal music, so we were trying to start a band, and then we were gonna be called Lunch Meat.
Lunch meet, yeah.
And then we switched our name to Brick because the band we were sharing our storage unit with, Guard Dog, had such a cooler name.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we had to get a different name.
Yeah,
and then
because
I think
we didn't have a place to practice, so
Right.
we had to rent a storage unit.
I
And
think we just like
yeah.
walked up to Jacob and was like, "Yo, come with us." And he just
we,
like
we
followed
ab-
us to
we
the unit.
abducted
I
Jacob.
was kind of roped into it.
I don't think we ever like officially asked him. We was like, "Jacob, you're in the band now." And then I think I posted on the Snapchat story, and then Jackson added me, and then we jammed. So I think we started practicing on like February or March.
Yeah, I think it was around March of 2025, and we started writing music like during our first practice. And we've written everything. I think we just wrote a song a few weeks ago. So everything that's on the EP, we wrote in the last 6 months.
So, you guys describe yourselves as hardcore. What is the hardcore scene to you as as artists? What do you feel hardcore embodies?
I feel like the genre of hardcore, as opposed to the genres of metal, it's all about just like the show. Like I see a lot of bands who just release like very, very like messy and like unfinished demos just so the crowd knows the songs and knows what to do at the show. It's like almost entirely about the show and not about the actual recording, I feel. And just like
Yeah, especially as a smaller artist, it's all about just getting a really awesome live performance. So to a lot of people, that means that like the recorded music is secondary, but you know, it's all preference. There's a lot of style that likes the really raw sound, which is why a lot of bands will go for demos.
It's all about like that, like punch your grandma in the mouth type of thing. It's like that energy that
Like
really
respectfully though.
respectfully.
Right,
yeah.
right.
just like getting together to like just like let all your energy out, let your anger out.
It's really therapeutic, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Brick's really my first introduction to metal as a whole. I never really listened to it before I joined the band.
So what do you think about it?
I think it's pretty good. Like, I mean, I enjoy the shows. I enjoy playing. I enjoy like moshing when other hardcore bands play. It's like a whole new thing for me.
Awesome. Like, this isn't my first time being like a punk band because I used to play in punk bands in Charlotte, but I didn't really understand until recently how different like punk and hardcore are. Like, really, like if you look at like trace it back, they all stem from the same like bands like Bad Brains and stuff, but hardcore it's just like all about the raw energy and like just being as heavy as possible and aggressive and just like
Oh,
up
show.
in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to. I have some questions about live performances because I was there when you guys
Mhm.
played the Merwin house,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a sight to behold. That was awesome.
Thank you.
But before we get there, you alluded to recording and doing that sort of thing. Are you planning a release?
We were just in Charlotte last weekend recording with my friend Ashley.
Shout out Ashley.
Ashley.Hicks on Instagram. He records some local stuff. But we just finished recording. I don't think we're like releasing anything for a little bit, just while it gets like mixed and mastered and we like put the finishing touches on it. But hopefully before the end of the year, something will be out.
Yeah, I think the plan is to get something out before we leave for winter break.
Before like December.
That way we can do some shows for it.
I think the date of like around Halloween of having it done, like finished mixing and stuff was
Yeah.
talked about, but not like official release or anything.
Right. Because from what I've kind of gathered is that rough sort of sound is good. You want that in the scene,
Mm-hmm.
and so like October is a good kind of spot to be in. Plus
Mhm.
Halloween, hardcore,
Yeah.
do some shows.
We're definitely looking around that fall, winter
alright.
timeline.
We're trying to build up a lot of hype before we find
Yeah,
a
we want to like play a couple more shows first. Let people like, because I feel like at this point, if you release too early, then no one really wants it.
Right.
But like, we just release it when the people want to hear it. I don't know if we're at that point yet, but maybe soon.
So, as artists, what has been who has been your biggest influence when it comes to the music you make, the performance you give?
I don't think I listened to a single hardcore band before starting this band. I think I'd heard Knocked Loose album, and that's it. But then when I was really getting into it, I really connected with Drain, the hardcore band. I think they're really awesome.
Yeah. I will admit I don't listen to a ton of straight hardcore. For me, it's more about like death metal, just anything a little bit more technical, and I think that kind of carries over in our sound. So, man, I love Gojira, I love Mastodon, love Crowbar.
Crowbar.
So just anything with a real punchy in the face sound.
I started out with like thrash metal back in high school. I was really into like Metallica and all that sort of thing, and I got deeper into it. I started getting to stoner metal and doom metal.
Ooh.
I'm a really big Sleep fan. Sleep is my #1 favorite band, and
Oh, yeah.
that's where it
I
got
didn't even know that.
heavy for me. That's where like all the riffs that I started playing, I wanted to just feel like heavy, like like crazy, like I don't know. And then it went into hardcore. I mean, you put that same like energy and like guitar tone and all that into fast and like hard, and it's like I don't know. It's the best of both worlds you can do. I mean, it's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, like half of the drive back from Charlotte, we were talking about stoner metal, and I had no idea because you told us the first place to say your favorite band was Death. I was like, okay.
At the
Cool.
time.
Oh, they were at the
At
time.
the time.
Is this a recent development?
No, I've loved Sleep since I saw him.
You saw Sleep?
No, since I first listened.
Okay.
Yeah, this summer I got really big into stoner metal, doom metal, stoner rock. It's great. I like it.
I was listening to a lot of Detroit.
I like been making like different kinds of music all the time, and I can definitely tell influence. Like, I can't really point out the influence, but like,
Yeah.
or
Well, when I'll find a really good album sometimes, like Bloody Roots by Sepultura. Bro, as a drummer, that I just really love that album. And next time, like I went in to practice and write some songs, like I was just trying to do what that guy was doing. It's just so cool.
I feel like I get most my inspiration from genres I'm not making. That way, I don't like copy
Yeah.
people.
So getting on to sort of like performance, because you guys, your biggest thing right now is your live performance,
Mm-hmm.
which is, in my opinion, electric. Like the whole crowd is into it. How would you describe that feeling from the other side of the stage? How do you describe sort of that feeling of being in front of, from like the Merwin house, being in front of that many people chanting brick, 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 bringing a brick to the show, being into it?
It was kind of, well, for me, I've been playing in bands for a while. I was in a band in Charlotte who had like pretty decent pull, so I was like, I'm used to the crowd, but in that band I played drums, so I wasn't really like front and center. Most of the time, I'm not really in a clear headspace when I'm performing, so I don't really know what's going on.
Mhm.
So I don't really know how many people were at that. Like, I've seen the video, but if I could put a number on it, I would know. I'm like never looking at them. I usually wear sunglasses, but mine broke at the Merwin house. But it's not that weird for me. But sometimes I get super nervous for like special shows.
Yeah, I think the only time I really feel nervous is at the very beginning, because everything's like, oh no, we haven't started. Like, what if I mess everything up? And then you hit that first song, and it just feels great. Everyone's loving it, and then, I mean, yeah, I like to dissociate a little bit, and then just feel the music. Like I'll be sticking my tongue out and just going crazy for it's fun.
It's very fulfilling. I feel like I'm like part of the crowd because you're just standing right there and they're like right next to you going like
Yeah, no, I
Right.
agree.
Just like that.
This is my first band I've ever been in, and playing in a crowd like that on the same level that you're standing on, in the mosh pit pretty much, dude, it's like crazy. You gotta like avoid like fists flying. Like I've been like pushed into like my speaker, like my amps, like multiple times, messed up the riff, but like I don't care because the energy's in the room, and what's coming out of my guitar, dude, it doesn't. As long as it sounds good,
Yeah.
it's gonna keep the party.
That's
That's
it.
honestly like one of the most fun parts. Like when someone bumps into you and you have to like recover from that
Dude,
in the song.
the first song we played at Merwin House, somebody just flew from the crowd into my drum set. So
I didn't see
half
that
of the
happen.
song I was playing like sideways because everything was moved around.
We played Merwin back in July, and I got a black eye at that show because for the last song we do like this false ending thing, and I was like on this couch and like I kind of jumped off. I jumped right into someone's elbow, right in the eye, bro. It wasn't that bad, but it was fun. It's all fun. Like sometimes, like I hate stages really because like I like to be in the like in there like as a vocalist at least. Like I like to be able to be like touch them, rub up against them. Like if they're not moving, I can like push them, make like I could just like get them moving, start the energy if we had a slow point,
Yeah, since you're not limited by holding an instrument, because that was one of our problems at first. We were thinking about, oh, what if Murphy plays an instrument? Well, that kind of limits him because then he can't run around and be chaotic, and that's kind of the fun part of doing vocals.
Yeah, I feel like as an onlooker, your energy like in the crowd and for the listeners, you have to be there. Murphy has the energy. He's in the crowd, in the mosh, with
Thank
the
you.
microphone. I mean, it's spectacular.
I've broken like 8 microphones. My band Yardstone has been Vulcan did a show on Dane Island parking deck, and I don't know why, but I was like running around, and then I just like decided to smash my microphone. I was just like smashing it against the concrete, and then it stopped working, obviously, and I was like, I just got even more mad that I was just like, I don't even think I used a mic for the second half of the set. I was just like yelling.
Yeah, he was just yelling. It was
just
pretty
like
cool.
once you get that first scream out, like the adrenaline just like carries you through the entire set, and I'm like always out of breath or like, I feel like most of the time I like only sing half of the lyrics of a song because I'm so out of breath because I've been running around and jumping off things. But it's so much fun, just like letting the adrenaline take control.
Yeah. Do you guys have any like pre-show rituals?
Did we? Okay, so after the shows, I can't think of anything before shows.
Waffle House.
After shows, we always hit up either Waffle House, it's a classic, or Cookout.
I think we've alternated. We did Cookout Wolf House.
Yeah, we alternate back and forth. And it's just so fun, something about like kind of crappy, cheap food sitting outside. It's like there's always a ton of people for some reason.
Yeah,
It's just really fun, but because like you're no longer the attention, you just get to become the crowd, like wherever you are.
Gives a sense of community, man.
Yeah, man. It's connecting with your local community.
I always try to like. I'm always telling people like pull up Cookout, and then no one ever comes. Or like
Yeah.
we're like they're like, okay, when are we going? I'm like, okay, I have to wait here because I'm in the band, but just wait. We'll go to Cookout soon. I think last time we were gonna go to Cookout with the other bands, and then the line was like down Western.
Yeah, we went after, and we just left because it was crowded,
It was crazy.
and it was like all people from Merwin.
Really?
Yeah, like we
By the
saw a
time
bunch
we
of
got there, it was
cars.
just like frat dudes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we got there at like midnight.
They were pushing it out fast. There was the dude by the window. One of his helpers like had a cup of water and he
Threw it in his
just
face.
threw it in his face. But it was funny.
I have some pre-show rituals, but they're not rituals, just things I usually do before shows. But
Oh, I don't eat before shows. That's my thing. Because I'll throw up all over the place if I do eat.
I always like to eat right before a show, so I'm not hungry at the show.
I do the same thing. I just like, dude. I went last show. I went to Cookout before the show, and dude, I didn't sit well on my stomach, so I had to, do some things. Before
That's
the
why I
show,
don't
but-
eat till after.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna start following that.
That's never happened to me before.
Okay, so you guys obviously play mostly originals in your show. Do you have a favorite to play?
Our current set is, what's it, 6 originals, 1 cover.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, my favorite to play is usually the newest one we've written. Because that one is just like what I've been thinking about walking to class, and just like when I'm driving, I'm like, oh, I got to get this song down. So since it's what I'm thinking about, it's the most fun to like get down really good, because then you see everyone else like it as much as you do.
Did I tell you? So we played a new song at Merwin, and my friend was getting dinner with someone, and Victoria, and they
Mhm.
told Victoria that they saw Brick last weekend, and that their favorite song was the second to last one, which was the new one.
That's the new one,
Cool.
yeah.
My favorite song, it switches. I think I guess you can tell me. It's one called Chunks. It's the third one we usually play, and for me, it's like all like gut voice, and it's very fast and chaotic. And I think Jackson wrote that one.
I did write
Yeah.
that one. It's pretty cool.
So when you guys do write, is it collaborative, or like do you like jam band it at first, or do you have one person write the whole song and then come together and teach everybody?
It's a bit of a mix, because some of our songs we've just jammed out, and then we're like, wait, that sounds really cool. And then Murphy's like over there in the corner writing lyrics down. But other times, like, people will have riffs, right?
I feel like most of the time someone like comes with a riff.
Yeah, it's one riff specifically. Like it's the one that'll like get your.
It's
your-
the hook.
It'll catch your ears, and then we just figure it out from the rest.
Yeah.
Like write it from the rest of that riff.
I think we have a song called Brick City Bitch, and that song was written in Price Music Hall as me, Jacob, and Dylan during the Music Makers Club,
Yeah.
and I don't even remember
I
like if we had like a riff then.
think I was, at that time, you were playing drums, I was playing guitar. Because,
No, or
yeah, I think I was.
I think Dylan was on bass.
It was so funny because our first practice, we could not figure out who was going to play what. So every song, we would just switch instruments, because Jacob can play bass and guitar. Murphy and I can play guitar, bass, and drums. And then we didn't know Jackson at the time, but I'm sure he could have switched around too.
I think it was either gonna be Dylan on guitar, Jacob on bass, me on drums, and we get a new singer that we don't know, or be singing him on drums, him on bass, which is what we ended up doing.
Mm.
But I already forgot the question. Oh, how to write songs. I think on the EP it's 6 songs, and each of us like wrote 2, but I feel like they're all super collaborative.
Like,
Yeah, for sure.
For our first song, like, I think I came up with like the main notes, and Dylan kind of turned it into a riff.
Because, I mean, when it comes to our process of songwriting, we don't really like talk about who wrote what. It's more just like, oh, this is our song. So I would say like it's very collaborative in that way. Like, we're not telling each other what to play. We just play what we wrote, and then everyone else comes up with stuff. We're like, oh, I like that.
There's elements of everybody in the band in every single song. Everyone added and adds different things, and it all combines to be sick in the end.
All right. So you guys are playing locals only on the 11th. So how does that feel, playing at Neptune's?
It's going to be our first real venue.
You guys say on a stage, and
It's pretty cool.
I think we've been to.
We
Okay,
saw Blank State there.
have you been to Neptune's?
no.
Okay, so I know Neptune's and King's are in the same building, but one's in the basement and one's above. And I don't know which is which.
Neptune's is in the bottom.
Neptune's is below.
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw a band Blank State play down there.
Mhm.
And that room was pretty chill.
It's
It's very small.
I think it's really small, and I think everyone's going to be really close to each other, and there's going to be a lot of people that want to mosh and a lot of people that don't. So I think we're going to see a big separation at that show,
Yeah, I also am not. I think we go. We're opening it up.
probably.
because yeah, we're opening it up. So
We
hopefully
got a
it's-
few out of like people from
we
Charlotte.
got two out of town
and-
people, Syndicate 99 and Super Beneath the Soil. We don't really want to make them drive down and play for no one. So
Yeah.
I feel like we like work hard, get promote people, be there for the first band. But I never really play at venues that often, so it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity to like reach an audience that's kind of outside of college, NC State.
Yeah, because I feel like all the house shows we play, I'm excited to see how many people will come now that they can't walk there.
Yeah.
That's true, because that's kind of been a major part of our audience. Is just the fact that all these house shows are so close to campus.
But so far, like every venue or concert I've been to at Neptune has been like pretty packed, like down there.
Mhm.
Who have you seen?
Hmm?
Who have you seen?
So, there was this like I've gone to jazz night several times, so that's and like for jazz, it's not really like a moshing type thing, but it's always still like,
No
super
pits at
packed.
jazz night?
Yeah,
Really?
there's like I wouldn't say there's a pit, but there's like a bunch of people sitting up front.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited to see how it turns out, and I actually am a DJ here, or I was. I didn't really do it. So I heard about the locals only thing like last year, and I was like, that'd be cool if I could get my band on there. And then Ahina, Isabella.
Yeah.
She reached out to me and was like, yo, can Brick hop on? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that you guys are obviously I'm a fan, so I think you guys you'll kill it, and I'll be there. So,
Yeah.
but
Appreciate you, bro.
Excited, dude.
so just kind of on the closing end of our talk here today, talking about your journey as not just musicians, but your journey that got you here. So, are all of you enrolled at NCSU?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, how are any of you out of state?
No.
Okay. So,
NC baby.
NC, how has growing up in North Carolina, has that impacted any of like your inspiration?
So I grew up in Charlotte, which is kind of like the biggest scene in North Carolina, like biggest punk scene, I'll say. So I know Asheville has a great like folk thing going on, but I grew up in like I would say the punk heart of North Carolina, which is Charlotte. So that definitely like shaped my like inspiration because every band I'm seeing is a punk band. So obviously I'm gonna start making punk music and start listening to punk music and stuff. I'm always hanging out with these people who are making punk music, and I was saying the other day that if I grew up in Asheville, I know I would have been in a folk band. So it's really time and place. But I think North Carolina is the greatest state in the world just because it's where I am and it's where everything's happening. And
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else than here. But it's just so awesome. There's so many great bands. There's so many like everyone's so friendly. I've made friends across the state just like through music, and it's just like bringing everyone together. So I think.
Yeah.
it's awesome.
So I grew up in Little Washington.
Kind of the opposite of Charlotte.
It's the opposite. My town population is like under 10,000 people. So coming to state was definitely a big culture shock for me. Like my high school is tiny. I had like under 20 people in my graduating class. So it's kind of funny that I even had a band in high school. So my high school band, the Vulcan, we were like the only metal band in Washington and in our county, I think, because everybody else would just play like kind of country rock cover stuff, and that's cool, but like it just was kind of lonely because we didn't know anybody. And then coming to state has been really cool for me because I've met a lot of people like all these guys here that like the same kind of music as me, and I think that's really, really fun. So I'm proud to be here.
Coming from Roxborough, North Carolina, dude, it's just like it's just polar opposite. Roxborough to Raleigh, because in Roxborough it's all country stuff. All you're gonna hear is just country stuff. And growing up, my dad introduced me into like, kind of like rock and like heavy metals. Like Van Halen really got me on that. And when I started listening to that, it started progressing, and like I knew no one else who liked the same things, and I didn't know anyone who played instruments. And I couldn't really do anything. There was no bands really in Roxborough, so I was just kind of, duking on my own, just hoping like once I get here, maybe I could get into a band or something, where I can meet other people who like the same things that I do. And here we are. So.
Yeah, in my hometown, Jacksonville, it's close to Camp Lejeune here. It's like no one really plays instruments or anything, so I've always been like, very driven to form or be in a band or write my own music, write music with others, just, pursue that. I'd say I'm a very ambitious person, and growing up in, like, North Carolina has definitely helped me, pursue that.
Am I the only one from the city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I know that.
City boy.
Jacksonville's kind of a city, right?
It's pretty big, but
You said you didn't have a grocery store though.
That's not
no,
true.
no, that's not true.
Okay. I don't know. It's true.
Stores.
Yeah, you're definitely the most city of us all here.
I think coming from Charlotte, I was not like I knew a lot of people in Charlotte. I had pretty like not popular bands, but popular-ish bands in Charlotte. So I like knew bands, and that like once I got up here, it was like weird because I didn't know anyone up here, and like I think one of the first weeks, the first band I ever saw in Charlotte, Blank State, came up, and I was like begging someone to go with me, and I was like, Dylan, please, can you drive me? I was like, you're gonna like it,
And then I did.
After that show, I met this guy who introduced me to more people in the scene, and I was just able to like wiggle my way in, and then we went to this one show in December. It was Demiurge, Archangel,
Ooh,
Spiral Tactics, and Colo. It was like a
great
hardcore show.
Great show.
I think for that, after going to that show, I was like, this is where Brick has to be like this. It was
Yeah.
it was in the room like maybe like a little bit bigger than this.
It was so tiny. They
And
had
like people were like, standing on top of each other like on couches. Most people were like in the air the entire. It was just.
I have
wild.
multiple videos of Murphy jumping off of a 2-foot couch.
I jumped off a
onto
couch and I
people.
bruised my tailbone.
And then he did it again.
Well, the first time no one caught me, and the second time they did catch me. But just like being able to like wiggle mine. I met so many awesome people here. Like
It was really cool.
Isaiah from Spiral Tactics, he was awesome. Just JT Moving Boxes, he goes here, and he helped us out a lot. Just so many nice people. I feel like wherever you go in North Carolina, you can find people who want to help you succeed. And
That's
I think
what I love about the scene.
that's the beauty of. I think that's the Southern hospitality aspect.
It's got to
That's-
be, right?
North Carolina, like they just want everyone is trying to help you out.
Well, I want to thank my guest, Brick from Raleigh. This has been Lachlan Vester for WKNC. You can check out our other interviews with local artists by visiting wknc.org/podcasts and clicking on the Off the Record. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you next time.